Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. So today's video, guys, is on the T-43 medium tank from the USSR. Quite an interesting tank, quite a unique tank. Unfortunately, never went anywhere. It was one of the two knock people off their platters. This was one of the forefathers of the T-34. Without this, we wouldn't have had the T-34. So it was sort of T-34 in this word competition, but unfortunately the T-34 proved superior. So you'll see a lot of elements and a lot of stuff is pretty much similar. But at the end of the day, the Russian government or the USSR settled on the T-34 program. It is a very interesting tank, very cool tank, and just thought I'd put it out there. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe. Keep well, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
T-43 medium tank. The T-43 medium tank was a prototype Soviet medium tank developed during the Second World War as a possible replacement for both the T-34 medium and KV-1 heavy tanks. The project's aim was to build a medium tank with heavier armor, but German advances in tank technology proved better countered by a more heavily armed T-34-85, and the T-43 was cancelled. History. VTE T-34 tank family. The T-34 medium tank was the mainstay of Soviet mechanized forces in World War II, produced in huge numbers. In May 1942, Soviet forces started encountering German tanks armed with the new long 75mm KWK-40 gun, which could easily penetrate a T-34 at long range. In June 1942, the Soviet Main Directorate of Armored Forces, GAB-2, issued a requirement to two tank design bureaus to compete in designing a universal tank, which would combine the heavy armor of heavy tanks with the mobility of the T-34 medium tank. The SKB-2 Heavy Tank Design Bureau in Chelyabinsk started the KV-13 program, which 2 years later resulted in a line of successful Iosif Stalin heavy tanks. The Uralvagon Zavod complex in Nizhny Tagil developed the T-43 medium tank. Uralvagon Zavod included the Morozov Design Bureau, the designers of T-34, who were able to draw on its previous work on the advanced T-34M project. T-34M had been cancelled in 1941, when Germany invaded the USSR. The T-43 project received low priority, as the primary focus was on increasing production of the T-34. The first prototype T-43 was completed in March 1943. The T-43 was generally similar to the T-34, but had a new armor layout and turret design, a space-efficient torsion bar suspension instead of the T-34's Christie type, and a new 5-speed gearbox. It also featured a 3-man turret with commander's cupola for all-round vision, a major improvement on the T-34's 2-man turret, in which the tank commander was constantly distracted with reloading their main gun. Compared to the T-34 model 1943 with hexagonal turret, the T-43's turret armor was increased from 70mm to 90mm, hull from 47mm front and 60mm sides to 75mm. It retained the same 76.2mm F-34 tank gun and, for ease of production, shared at least 70% of its parts interchangeably with the T-34. Testing at Kubinka showed that the heavier T-43 couldn't match the T-34's mobility, while its armor was still not heavy enough to stop the German 88mm gun. After the Battle of Kursk, Soviet planners realized that the T-34's biggest drawback was the ineffectiveness of its 76.2mm gun against the frontal armor of the new German Tiger and Panther tanks. What was needed was a more effective gun rather than heavier armor. The T-43 turret was adapted to mount a more effective 85mm gun, and to fit on the T-34 tank hull. The T-43 project was cancelled, and the new T-34-85 was put into production instead. The decision to improve on an existing design rather than commit to a major retooling of the factories was characteristic of Soviet philosophy, which held enormous production level as paramount. While Germany, having at the time almost double the industrial resources of the Soviet Union, suffered a string of production and logistical difficulties while introducing new, technically superior tank models. The Soviets, maximizing productivity, accepted a compromise by significantly improving their main tank. The result was that the Soviets were producing T-34-85 tanks at a rate of 1,200 per month, while Germany was struggling to put 180 Panther tanks per month out of the assembly lines. When the T-34-85 first appeared in combat, German intelligence initially misidentified it as the T-43, based on reports about Soviet tank research. Type medium tank. Place of origin Soviet Union. Specifications. Mass 34 tons. Length 8.10 meters, 26 feet 7 in citation. Needed width 3.00 meters, 9 feet 10 in height. 2.58 meters, 8 feet 6 in crew. 4 armor 16 to 90 millimeters. Main armament 76.2 millimeters F-34 tank gun. Secondary armament 1 times 7.62 mm DT machine gun. Engine V234 diesel. 500 horsepower, 373 kilowatts power/weight 15 horsepower/ton. Suspension torsion bar suspension. Operational range 240 kilometers, 150 miles. Maximum speed 50 kilometers per hour, 31 miles per hour.